Hi everyone, it is Mrs. Martonis. I just wanted to talk to you really quickly today about the packet that I emailed to every single one of my lovely, fabulous students. I emailed you a poetry packet. It is ginormous. I get it. I know. I understand. I heard the screams across the counties today about how long the poetry packet is and how Mrs. Martonis must think that we are so amazing that we can conquer this. I do. I know we can. So here's the deal. The poetry packet took me a long time to recreate. My original one is at school, but we do what we have to do and we move forward. So the poetry packet is set up to help you if you are on your own, if you have to work through this poetry packet by yourself. It's also set up in a way that we will go through each piece according to the calendar that is in the very beginning. Gives you timelines, gives you due dates, gives you a way to keep track of yourself and make sure that you are doing work when you are at home. If you can attend the Zoom classes, that's great because we are going to walk through it as a class. Just a few reminders: when you do attend Zoom class, you need to be 1, on task, 2, participating, 3, prepared. And I don't want to see TikToking. I don't want to see crazy lights. I want to see students being ready and appropriate. So I haven't seen too much fooling around or nonsense. So I appreciate that from you guys. So the poetry packet. The first thing in it is a calendar. Like I said, it gives you due dates, keeps you accountable. You know what you have to do. There's a few new things on there. Every week there's an everyday edit. There's a question of the day, which is QOD, question of the day, every day. And there's a homework. It tells you what we're going to be covering during the Zoom class and the homework and all of the things that you need to know. So if we, for the question of the day, you'll be required to answer that and be prepared for the next day's class. Like today's class, we talked about doing the vocabulary in the packet, reading through the packet, and coming prepared to class with 2 pieces of paper. One that says T Swift, one that says W Shakespeare. So we're going to play a little game tomorrow. Is it who said it? Taylor Swift or William Shakespeare? If you don't know who William Shakespeare is, that is absolutely fine because you will learn. Also, most of us know some words, some songs that Taylor Swift sings, so I'll give you the lyrics or the words in a phrase, and then you'll think about it and you'll be like, oh, I know that, that's Taylor Swift. And you put the card up on your head or the piece of paper or whatever you're using. And then if you're like, oh, that one, it must be some old guy from a long, long ago because he's speaking with weird words, William Shakespeare. And that's how it goes. We'll do it for points as well. So the packet is set up like that. First, it's a calendar, gives you your deadlines, your due dates, your suggested work times for getting the things done. Then it tells you this is what our poetry unit is. This is how many types of poems we're going to learn. 16. And know how to write and know what they look like, what they sound like, what they're made of, where they're from, things like that. So then it'll say like the first poem might be acrostic. I don't know. It took me like 2 weeks to make this poetry packet for you. So it's been a long time since I did the first one. So it's set up acrostic. Acrostic is a poem that you write the word, you think of a theme, you write the word down the paper, and then it goes like a nice story. So if my theme was rainbow, I'll be like creative and I'll put my word in rainbow colors down the paper and then I'll start writing my poem. It's not something like R is for rabbit, A is for apple. You don't say anything is for anything. You just write it out, and if it starts with an R, you don't have to write the R for the word again. You just carry it through. Nice and easy. So I tell you what kind of poem it is, what it looks like, how you write it, an example that I made for you, and then there's a space that says write your acrostic poem, and then you write your acrostic poem. Then you move on to the next one. There are quizzes, there might be a test, there are Quizlet vocabulary words, there is a Quizlet link, there's a quizzes link. There will be quizzes throughout, just like there was for night. Also, there are activities There are extra activities to strengthen your writing skills. Poetry is all about being creative. You don't have to be an expert at punctuation. You can use slang. You can rhyme in certain poems. Not all poems rhyme. There are so many different types of poems, and there will be at least one that you're like, oh my gosh, this was the easiest thing. Mrs. Martonis was right. I am a rock star, and poetry is easy. So it is easy. It is a way to be creative, be inspired by words, not worry about the structure of your sentences or the punctuation or where do I put a comma, where do I stop it. You don't have to have punctuation in so many types of poems. You can just let them flow, let them go from one line to the next. It is a whole other world of writing, poetry. It comes from you. You are the one who tells what it means. You give it meaning, and no one can say, oh, that's not what it's about, because you know what it's about. It can be interpreted so many different ways. So be inspired by things, be inspired by nature, go outside, walk in the grass. Just watch out for poop if you're in a dog neighborhood. Go outside, look at the sky, breathe in the air, social distancing, pet your dog, pet your rabbit, pet your cat. Just find things to be inspired by. Is it a video game? Is it a book? Is it you being by yourself and like turning up your music as loud as you can, but no one else can hear it except for you? Inspire yourself. Look for inspiration in nature, in life, in these weird times where you're not at school, you're not on a schedule, you're at home. Just write about it. Write about it and see what happens. You may become a poetic rock star somehow. I don't know. You can do it. So quickly, that's the packet. The PowerPoints are in there that I would show during my Zoom classes. So if you can't be in Zoom, it's fine. Everything is in the packet for you. Everything that you need. If you have questions, if you need help, email me after you read through, and you read through again and you read it out loud and you're like, I better ask her this question, because that's what I'm here for. If you can get on Zoom, get on Zoom. If you can't, no worries. If you need to email me and say, hey, am I doing this right? Do it. I will let you know. I will say, oh, we need to count the syllables, because that's something that is important in some types of poetry. Syllables. Syllable count, not word count. So like if you are tapping out the syllables, it's counting. There, like if we were in the class, there'd be a lot of tapping and counting and thinking to make sure you have the right number of syllables. But that's all in your packet. Briefly, before I run out of time, I just wanted to give you top 10 plus 1 list of poets that you could check out. If you like nature, Robert Frost, Walt Whitman, Emerson. If you like little kid stories or like Where the Sidewalk Ends, Shel Silverstein, William Shakespeare, Robert Frost, I think I said him in nature, J.R.R. Tolkien, what, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, oh yeah, female poets that teens like because they're so like sulky and sad and gloom, Emily Dickinson, Sylvia Plath, Taylor Swift. There's a couple cool poetry books that I'll show you on Zoom and I'll post on Instagram.